This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thanks so much for watching. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Now at 11. 4 years. The PLP marks its anniversary since coming to office and appeals to its supporters to stay the course. How the government is marking its 4th year in office ahead of the upcoming general election. Making the list, but not for a good reason. The Bahamas again finding itself on the U.S.'s drug trafficking list with the likes of Colombia, Panama, and Venezuela. Why has the United States grouped us in this company, and how local officials are taking the news. And cab drivers giving notice that they have had it, why their union is threatening to take action. We have those stories and more coming up this Tuesday night.
The Bahamas tonight at 11. The final word starts now.
And hello to you on this Tuesday evening. I'm Corbell Pyfron. We're glad to have you with us. The Davis administration marking a major milestone today after clinching victory in the general elections back on this date in 2021. The party won 32 of the 39 seats in the House of Assembly, beating out the Free National Movement to win the government. Fern Carey's leading us off at 11 with this trip down memory lane.
The governing Progressive Liberal Party marking its 4th anniversary this Tuesday since being elected to office in a landslide victory back in 2021. Reflecting on the government's progress over the past 4 years, the nation's chief Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, cited a revitalized tourism industry, investments in land to provide affordable homes for Bahamians, and achievements in the labor market with more than 50 labor agreements signed. Prime Minister Davis also highlighted major investments in healthcare and initiatives focused on empowering young people countrywide, among others.
Every young person given the skills and guidance to support productive choices, not tragic ones. More than 500 young Bahamians trained in our country's first National Service Corps, the National Youth Guard. A tourism industry revitalized with new opportunities for Bahamian entrepreneurs. The country's first nationwide apprenticeship program. Major sporting events held here at home once again, and record support for our athletes. Renovations to 52 clinics, 2 new hospitals, and our investment in labs and diagnostics and emergency vehicles for our family islands, all in motion.
The nation's leader also detailed the measures to strengthen the country's agriculture sector, ongoing energy reforms, and new legal protections for the country's marine resources, including Bahamian artists and artisans. He acknowledged, however, that there is still more work to be done as the PLP looks ahead to general elections next year. Meantime, PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell said tackling the high cost of living continues to top the government's agenda.
The government is trying to tackle that problem. Most latterly, of course, was the issue of reducing VAT on certain items to try and control prices. So we're generally pleased, and we're looking forward to seeking from the Bahamian public a reaffirmation of our term within the next year, because the work is not complete.
Mr. Mitchell also assured that long-term issues like crime and supporting the country's aging population remain a priority.
We have to get a grip on the crime issue, which is, our belief is in social intervention. And the social intervention programs take a while to kick in. So we've started them.
Mr. Mitchell pointed to the PLP's record, noting that the party will continue to do all it can to support and empower Bahamians. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, as the government celebrates its 4th anniversary and toots its horn, the question is, what's the word on the streets? Our Danielle Dean canvassed the views of everyday Bahamians and has more for us in this report.
4 years since the PLP won in a landslide victory, capturing 32 of 39 seats. Voters are sharing their views on the party's impact to date. Executive Director of the Organization for Responsible Governance, Matt Aubrey, acknowledges ways the government has helped the country to move in a positive direction.
As we look at, say, the 4th year of this government, we've observed some positive economic developments, particularly in the post-COVID recovery period. We saw signs of some fiscal consolidation and the initial reductions on the national debt, and that's critical. We've also seen some important pieces of legislation that have been put in place.
But he added, ORG is of the opinion that more structures need to be put in place to strengthen the relationship between citizens and government. For example, regularized opportunities for public consultation.
We're coming upon an election, and one of the fundamental challenges we saw in the last election is we saw a drop from those historic, very high numbers of the Bahamas electorate coming out. We went from the last election being in the high 80s down to the mid-60s. And that reflects a lot of things. Post-COVID environment, different process in the registry, a snap election. But it also talks about the fact that there is this growing lack of trust in institutions.
The next general election's just months away. We spoke to some residents who will be heading back to the polls.
That depends on who they send in my area.
Yes, I am.
I always vote every election. It's important. The trajectory of the country depends heavily on me, on my contribution.
I must admit, our Prime Minister is trying to do his best.
However, Delano Johnson sees this is one issue yet to be addressed effectively.
Our roads, every time it rains, it's like a Russian roulette riding through the water and stuff like that.
And Vince McDonald credits the government with catering to marginalized communities.
There's nobody has turned to the poor, to the underprivileged, the less fortunate than the PLP and under Brave Davis. Nobody else, no other government I've seen. They have been more conscientious of high cost of food, high cost of gas, high cost of energy.
While some are singing the government's praises, others say there are matters that can be better handled as they prepare for yet another general election countdown. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, this is perhaps the news the government did not want to hear as it celebrates its anniversary. The Bahamas again finding itself in some unwanted company as it is included on the U.S. President's determination on major drug transit or major illicit drug producing countries list for this fiscal year.
Well, the United States is one of the major drug-consuming nations. That's all I have to say about that.
Just last week, President Trump's nominee for ambassador to the Bahamas, Herschel Walker, during hearings before the Senate's Foreign Relations Committee, asserted that the absence of a U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas has made the country more vulnerable to drug and human trafficking, vowing at the time to forge closer ties with law enforcement agencies, both in the U.S. and here.
And I feel that that's a most important thing, is to make all the law enforcement feel that they're important. I think they've gotten so much negative that now I love to make them know that they're important. They're the reason why. And I can build a championship team if we're all working together. And I can commit to that I can get them to know how important that they will be in the Bahamas and getting things done.
Meanwhile, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, has repeatedly pushed back against any linking of the Bahamas to drug trafficking, blaming the rise in the transport of drugs on Colombia.
The reality that's driving the uptick in cocaine trafficking is that the government of Colombia, who used to destroy coca fields, took a policy decision to stop doing that. And so cocaine production has gone up in South America, so therefore the amount of it flowing north would increase. That's a problem not only for us, that's a problem for everyone.
So here at 11, a language barrier remains a huge challenge in our public school system, and education officials say the frustrations of not being able to speak English is contributing to the students' behavior in the classroom. Efforts to get to the root cause, of it all are now being addressed. LaDawn Davis has been following this story and has more for us tonight.
Good evening to you. A bewildered president of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Belinda Wilson, says she had zero knowledge of a so-called buddy system for Creole-speaking students in public schools, as mentioned by the education director several days ago. Wilson says after conducting a teacher's survey, it was also discovered that teachers were unaware of such a system and that there were some other challenges.
Some of the Creole-speaking siblings and or Creole-speaking friends would try to assist some of the students from time to time, unofficially and voluntarily. It is obvious that the Creole-speaking students, especially at the grade 1 level, did not attend preschool. And even the basic skill of being toilet trained is a challenge. Their lack of ability to speak English contributes to low reading, writing, and comprehension scores. Teachers have also noticed behavioral problems from the Creole-speaking students as well as the Bahamian students.
Education Director Dominique McCartney-Russell clapping back at comments made by the BUT president. She says, according to the Bahamas Education Act, all children between the ages of 5 to 16 are required to be legally enrolled in schools by their parents to ensure students have access to education during their most critical developmental years.
We have over the years, as a practice, embraced a buddy system that supports students for whom English is a second language. And so this informal practice pairs the ESL student with a classmate or schoolmate who will help them acclimate to the school environment, not just academically, but socially, until the student gains confidence to navigate the campus life.
In light of recent concerns posted by Bahamians on social media regarding the matter, McCartney-Russell says education officials plan to have a dialogue with stakeholders to address the needs of vulnerable learners and strengthen their support system. But in the meantime, the BUT president is requesting that the education director provide a written Creole budding system policy of which she speaks and identify the schools the policy is operating in. Back to you in studio.
Well, thanks to you, LaDawn. Well, there's much more news to stick around for. When we come back, the Bahamas is well represented at CARIF 2025. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. That story and more when we come back.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janae's.com.
Sting Junkanoo Group is celebrating 25 years of music, and you're invited to the greatest show ever. Counting down the years, performing hit song after hit song. BVS, Colin McDonald, KB, Dyson Knight, and D-Mac. Saturday, November 1st at the Farm Marshall Road, 8 p.m. until. Tickets can be purchased online at www.bahamaseattickets.com for your skybox or to be a food vendor. Call 424-6433, 477-0191. Sponsored by ZNS, Island Luck TV, The Farm, Gatorade Today and Co. Limited, Crystal Minute, and Associates.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmare dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Thank you for sticking with us this Tuesday evening. The government says Grand Bahama International Airport's redevelopment remains a top priority, calling it central to the island's economic recovery. The Ministry of Tourism Investments and Aviation officials revealing in a press release today that they are in the final stages of securing funding and completing agreements on airport management, paving the way for construction of a modern world-class facility. The UK's Manchester Airport Group is assisting with the design and management, but not financing the project. Government says a funding partner will be announced soon. The Davis administration insists the goal is clear: to give Grand Bahama the airport it needs to grow, attract investment, and strengthen its role as a gateway to the Bahamas. A landmark day for members of the Airport, Airline, and Allied Workers Union. Members who are employed by Nassau Flight Services receiving some long overdue increments and other employee benefits. We get more now from our Felicity Darville.
It's the largest contract negotiation to date for the Airport, Airline, and Allied Workers Union. Executives led by President Jewel Fountain signed a contract with Nassau Flight Services to the tune of $3.5 million. The agreement, which covers a 5-year period until 2030, is being celebrated by the AAAWU. Vice President Tonique McIntosh tells us why.
This signing of this contract marks as a significant milestone for our members. It reflects our ongoing commitment with management to ensure fairness, stability, as well as progress in the workplace. Our members are very pleased with the benefits offered in this contract. This agreement also delivers, providing security and improved conditions and great opportunities for all.
Chairman of Nassau Flight Services, O.B. Roberts, said negotiation sessions with the AAAWU were very productive. Here are some of the benefits of the new contract.
We have had an increase in meal allowances for our employees, increased travel allowances, also increase in sick days from 12 to 22 days. Increased number of personal emergency days from 2 to 4. More importantly, we have now added an early retirement clause to our agreement that has never existed before.
In addition, the government has approved 4 increments for Nassau Flight Services employees over the life of the contract. Mr. Roberts said this was all completed in what he called a record 4 short months.
A very productive union negotiations that benefit our employees and to our hard-working employees at Nassau Flight Services. So I just wanted to say thank you, and we are very happy that this matter has been concluded, and the staff can continue on performing at a very high level for Nassau Flight Services, being the best in the country.
This contract is particularly significant to the 240 AAAW union members who are impacted by it because it represents their first pay increment in a decade. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Not all good news from the labor front tonight. Frustration building within the taxi union. Its president is ready to take action against the government, a move he warns could very well impact the lucrative tourism industry. We hear more now from Mukush Lapinda.
In short order, the union is going to have to take the next step. We're just going to do what we got to do.
The next move is being kept close to his chest, but taxicab union president Tyrone Butler is promising that he and his members are going to apply pressure on the government. And this following failed discussions to bring some resolution to the long-standing issue of livery drivers operating in spaces reserved for taxis at the Lyndon Pending International Airport and even resorts.
We've seen on any number of occasions when I'm at the airport, any number of people pulling up with livery plates and it's like a free-for-all. This is really a sad situation for us.
Now, Butler contends that the government is not acting in good faith, and his union is no longer prepared to sit idly by in hopes of finding a reasonable solution. In a release, the Ministry of Transport noted its commitment to working with the taxicab and livery unions to reach a fair solution. However, it added that while the ministry appreciates the concerns of both unions, it is important to note that livery services have operated at the airport for over 2 decades, and that during that time, the transportation sector's growth has led to a need for adjustments, some of which require legislative action. Further, that any significant long-term improvements will only be fully realized after the airport's upcoming redesign. Reporting for the ZNS News Network, I'm Makushla Pinder.
Thank you, Makushla. Well, Energy and Transport Minister, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, and Bahamas Power and Light Company CEO are among the regional energy sector leaders attending a two-day Caribbean Infrastructure Forum in Miami. Better known as CARIF, the conference centers on the planning and execution of transformative infrastructure projects and provides valuable insights into the challenges and opportunities facing the region's energy sector. Minister Colby Davis participated in a dynamic panel discussion alongside her colleagues from Barbados this morning, where she outlined the Bahamas' vision for a new energy era.
The Caribbean has some advantage to CARICOM to look within ourselves and see what our strengths are, what our resources are. So where we may have some weaknesses in the Bahamas, we may be able to lean on Nevis or Barbados or Jamaica or Trinidad to have that strength and to utilize CARICOM to be able to push forward how we connect our Caribbean islands helps us to continue to grow our economy as opposed to competing to say we did it first.
Meanwhile, BPL CEO Tony Seymour previewed her appearance in tomorrow's panel discussion on accessing funding for renewable energy projects.
It's around the access to funding to be able to get the capital that you need to roll out our renewable energy projects. To talk about where we are as a utility, what the challenges are, what we're faced with, and where we hope to go. And really just to talk about our new energy era, the installation of microgrids, utility scale solar, and a push to the 30% renewable integration by 2030.
Well, let's swing it over to Amajal Knowles, who has a look at what's ahead in sports.
Predacia Johnson competing in the women's 400-meter semifinals over in Tokyo. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy on noon. What's your flavor? Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken. Ghost pepper wings.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. One Bahamian in action today, the World Athletics Championships over in Tokyo, Japan. Predacia Johnson competing in the semifinals of the women's 400 meters, fresh off running a new lifetime best in her opening heat. Johnson attempting to get into the final, but her time of 50.91 seconds was good enough for just 6th place in the second of 3 heats. The top 3 finishers in the 3 heats combined, and the next 2 fastest losers advanced to the final. Johnson ended up at number 17 in the world. Salwa Ed Nazar of Bahrain won the heat in 49.47 with the 4th fastest qualifying time. Now, with the quarters done for the Bahamas, the action shifts to the 200 meters, where the 242 will have a representative on both the men's and women's side. For the ladies, former world double junior champion Anthony Strawn will compete in Heat 4 alongside Great Britain's Darryl Nita. And on the men's side, Ian Kerr perhaps being drawn in the toughest men's heat that will feature 3-time world champion Noah Lyles and former Olympic champion in the event Andre DeGrasse. We'll give you those results as they become available. So on track, back here at home, a number of local programs gearing up for the upcoming season. Center's Total Sports team caught up with a number of coaches and athletes to get their expectations.
My expectation for the upcoming season is to have numerous of my boys, under 17 boys, qualify for Carifta. They're growing very strong, and they have great potential of making the team. Last year, we had a representative on the team who came back with a bronze medal, and so now his colleagues are really hungry to make the team again to go to Grenada.
Right now it's called off-season, so we're just trying to do some conditioning and get them in some sort of running shape before we really get into the main part of our work schedule. So once for the first month or two, once we get them in the condition that we need them, and then we will go into some other training methods with them.
And hoping to continue to develop the youth track and field talent here at home, Golden Girl Debbie Ferguson McKenzie, who revealed that she's transitioned from the U.S. back home to help coach, and the former Austin Seeley Award winner, as she hopes to continue the upward trajectory of the Bahamas' performance at the Carifta level.
We had a lot of the kids who've done well from Freeport and also from here, and so that's the goal. If you don't start with a plan, then, you know, say if you fail the plan, you plan to fail. So the whole goal is to start with that plan and to see how many kids we get to the Carifta and be competitive, even more competitive on the Carifta level. So that's one of the things in the horizon.
From this weekend in college football news, Bahamian Collegiate football player Graham Knowles and his Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets improving to 3-0 on the year after they would upset the then 11th ranked Clemson Tigers. Knowles, a backup quarterback for the team and the son of Bahamian tennis legend Mark Knowles. Yellow Jackets again improving to 3-0 and are now ranked number 18 in the latest AP poll. Next up for them, a home showdown against Temple on Saturday. And that's Look at Your Sports on this Tuesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Our weather chief is here with a look at our forecast. And Basil, you've got us all on rain watch. So what did we get in the gauge today?
Good evening, Well, we get you started in the tropics, and the tropics getting a little busy. We have two tropical waves out there, a very strong one. The Hurricane Center is giving it a 90% chance of developing in the short term, meaning by tomorrow or even within the next 48 hours, this red area here could produce a tropical depression, possibly even a tropical storm. And just behind that, we have a second tropical wave just off the African coast. That one is advancing towards the west, and we're giving that one a 20% chance of development over the next 7 days. So we'll keep our eyes on these two systems over the next few days and keep you posted. But what I can tell you that our computer models are suggesting that once developed, this system will perhaps turn towards the north well before it reaches the Bahamas. So that is certainly good news. And so we'll be watching it to see if that turn does in fact take place. As we look at our satellite picture, we can see some moisture moving into the northwest and central parts of the country. So we'll see an increase in cloud cover, an increase in shower and thunderstorm activity as we get late into the night and during tomorrow. And for the next several days, we'll have some showers and thunderstorms in our forecast. Temperature-wise, around the Farming Valleys, Marshall, Abaco at 82 degrees, Grand Toll, Key, Abaco at 80. 80 also in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands, they're reporting 84 degrees. 86 in Allenstown, Bimini, 84 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 82, Otterstown, Kid Island, also 82 degrees. Black Point, Exuma, Campus Space, Orlando's at 85, Fresh Creek, Central Islanders reporting 83 degrees. And now we get some more 85s in Georgetown, Exuma. But Georgetown, Exuma at 85, Remke and San Salvador, 82 degrees there, 83 in Betsy Bay, Maguana, Crooked Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Ragged Island reporting 84, Acklands at 83, Magic Town, Inagua 86, and the Turks and Caicos Island, that's the warm spot tonight. They have a temperature of 87 degrees. And your forecast tonight, we're looking at overcast, very warm, a thunderstorm developing late tonight with a low temperature around 81 degrees. And then tomorrow, we're looking at a thick cloud cover with a couple of thunderstorms in the afternoon, the high temperature getting up to 86 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, this is how it will unfold for the next 7 days. We're looking at continuous showers off and on through Thursday, but by Friday they become a little bit more isolated, but we'll continue to have those pockets of thunderstorms in our forecast. And as we head into Saturday and Sunday, as we can see, once again, lots of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. So if that weather pattern is developing over the next several days, and that will keep your daytime temperatures primarily below the 90-degree mark. It wouldn't be until but Sunday, maybe we'll pop a 90, and then again next week on Tuesday, we'll see another 90 in the forecast.
Summer-like temperatures with us even as fall approaches. Thank you, Basil, and thank you for being with us this Tuesday night. I'm Corvell Pyfrom, and for all of us, be well, and be sure to join us tomorrow evening. Good night.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Lakush Lapinder. This is ZNS.